Well, now we do have Dr. Jinani Hussaini, who is the coordinator for the technical response team for COVID-19 in Kano. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today on the program. Well, the government eventually released a statement late yesterday admitting, yes, there are some strange deaths going on in the state. Why did it have to take them this long before they came up with a statement?
Actually, good morning, Chamberlain. Yes, there has been social media reports around increasing number of deaths in Kano, which since when we started getting that information, we went back to count the number of deaths in graveyards, and what we found out was that from our findings, that preliminary findings, was that one, we do not have a baseline to compare anything with, so it is difficult for us to say, yes, there is increase in the number of deaths. However, we have instituted several measures to ensure that we get to the bottom of this. And this is because of these measures that Kano State Government is proactively looking for what are the causes of this death. As I'm speaking with you right now, our data collectors are out in the field trying to find out, get data on what the symptoms that led to the death of these people. Remember, Kano is a traditional Muslim place. Autopsies usually are not conducted. We do not have burial registers, and so on and so forth. So it's difficult to say, yes, categorically, there is an increase unless we do basic investigation, and which we are currently doing right now. And we are not doing it alone. To give it that transparency, level of transparency, we are involving all our partners from development partners, the Africa CDC, Nigeria NCDC, and everybody that is a stakeholder, so that we come and unravel what the true situation is. However, it's difficult to say, yes, these deaths are related to COVID-19 without this investigation.
If I heard you right, if you say you went back to count or to check with some of those bodies or to count, if I heard you right, but I hope you can correct that. But one of your members, one of the coordinators, I think deputy coordinator, they say on one of our sister programs that about 640 people had died, because some dailies picked up on that, and they're saying that 640 deaths within 2 weeks. And then the same breath, in the same report, also talks about 14 people dying in the last 2 days. Are these figures correct?
We should have some basic context of Kano. Kano State, Kano Metropolis. Kano Metropolis consists of 8 local government areas, have over 60 graveyards. When I say graveyards, yes, I mean graveyards, and this excludes the small graveyards. We have 60 graveyards in Kano. So looking at the number of graveyards in Kano, it means, yes, large population must have access to where to bury their dead body. Yes, the figures are preliminary, but again, we need to have that this investigation to ensure that the figures we are telling the public are the correct figures. As it is right now, it is too early and premature to say these are the numbers we have in Kano, of the death in Kano.
But your member already spoke about there have been 640 deaths within 2 weeks. He spoke about that last week. Isn't that correct? If it weren't, why would he say so?
Yes, like I said, there are preliminary findings, and these findings needs to be corroborated and ensure that the figures we are giving out to the public is correct. Remember that we are in a pandemic, and there are, besides COVID-19, there are other causes of death amongst the population. So the figures we are going back to communities. We are like listing those who have died within the last 3 weeks. We also are administering questionnaires and get to the bottom of this. So whenever this investigation is concluded, we make public the figures.
What you said the other time, did you say that there will be no autopsy conducted because of the traditional nature of Kano?
Usually, you hardly find families taking their dead bodies for autopsy, even when they die in hospitals. And this is the practice, traditional practice, generally in Kano and across several states in northern Nigeria. Remember that Islamic rights demands that you bury your dead as early as possible. And a lot of these deaths do not occur in facilities, in hospitals, where preliminary investigation do happen.
If you don't mind me butting in,
for us,
just one moment, just one moment. As a medical practitioner, you know that it's difficult to get conclusive findings about an occurrence or an outbreak, which, as you said, as it would appear, it is different from COVID-19 in Kano. As a medical practitioner, you know it's difficult to find anything sufficient without an autopsy. How then does the Kano State government intend to get this finding without an autopsy? What's the route you're going to take?
Yes, in medical practice, there is what we call verbal autopsy. What we are doing, we are going back and take history backward and now see if we can try and link that up. And what that means, we are doing verbal autopsy to ensure that we get to the bottom of this seemingly increasing death in Kano.
How reliable is that finding going to be for the Kano State government to nip these two outbreaks in Kano in the bud?
Yes, findings, investigation are for informed decision making, and Kano State government is going to take this finding serious. Is going to see what are the causes of this death, and we're going to see what measures we institute to prevent this death. Remember, the last guest said perhaps due to scaling down of these services in some facilities, perhaps we might have seen increase in number of deaths due to other causes. But like I said earlier, we cannot say categorically what these deaths are unless we have done proper investigation and we inform the public in due course. Like I said earlier, we are making this investigation transparent. We are involving all our partners, all relevant stakeholders, and they be part of it. And the general public will be informed as soon as the results are ready.
All right then, Dr. Tijani Hussaini, thank you very much indeed for talking to us this morning. All right, and so we will be back in a moment and talk about the same matter, but in a different light, not different region. So stay with us.